talk to you about Nicaragua today and a few things. And I just want to kind of review about what is in, like, where it is and some facts about this country, just to give you a little bit of a better idea. So Nicaragua is in Central America. It's this like red country right here. And so the capital is Managua. The population is about 6 million. So roughly, I think, like Maryland's population. They speak Spanish. They're a presidential republic. They gained their independence in September of 1821. Their main economy is based on like exports of agriculture, beef, coffee, gold, textiles, and their official or like main religions are Christian, like Roman Catholic and evangelical. And we talked about a little bit about how they were more of a collectivist society in our last lesson. Okay, so cool things. What's going on? All right, so what's trending? Fashion Week right now. Well, last month, so it was almost a month ago, they had Fashion Week there, which is really cool. And so I have a little video for you that I think is just really like fun. It's sorry, hold on one second. There it goes.
And I can't hear it, Anna.
Let's
see.
Okay. There's not much music. Can you see it playing?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So anyways, I just had Fashion Week last week, and you can see that, you know, they're wearing these like bright colors. Maybe you can see like some swimsuits and things. So that's like new fashion in Nicaragua, and they're like walking the runway. It's just like Fashion Week in the U.S. It's really fun and crazy, and everyone gets together to kind of look at what's going to be trending for this next year. Maybe it'll be more bright colors and the patterns that we're seeing in Fashion Week. That's what like a Fashion Week will really do. And then, okay, so what about music? So I looked up the top 20 or top 10 songs right now trending in Nicaragua. And so the first one is Vivir Mi Vida by Mark Anthony. And the second is Wake Me Up by Avicii. The third is Happy by Pharrell Williams. The fourth is Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars. And the fifth is PSY by Gangnam Style. Have any of you heard of those songs before? And raise your hands if you have. Yeah, they sound pretty familiar to me. I know these are all things that I like enjoy listening to. Also, when I was in Nicaragua in 2014, these were also popular songs, like Vivir Mi Vida and Wake Me Up were very popular while I was there. So it's just pretty cool to see that. Okay, also in sports, I know someone said they were interested in baseball. So what's going on? Baseball is actually the national sport of Nicaragua, which I think is really interesting. And so they actually just built a brand new stadium, and this stadium is the first to be built to the Major Baseball League standards of the U.S. So it's huge. And it's a project that's been going on 2 years, and it's in the capital city, Managua. And so it's actually going to be used for the base for the 11th Central American Games in December of this year. Oh. So everyone's going to be there. It's this brand new stadium for a national sport that, you know, most people are involved in. I went to a baseball game while I was in Nicaragua, and it is like a small community activity, but also played in a big capital city. So, you know, people have been talking about this stadium for the past 2 years since they started construction, and it is huge because it is the first in Central America, I think, to be built to Major Baseball League standards. And then last thing I have for you about what's trending in Nicaragua is the interoceanic Grand Canal. So can you raise your hand if you've ever heard of the Panama Canal? Has anybody heard of it? Oh, a few people? Okay, cool. So Panama is right here. This is where it is. And then this is the Panama Canal. Okay, and Nicaragua has this giant lake. And they want to put like the largest civil engineering construction project right through this big lake. So it began in 2013, and it's very controversial because there are many issues. It impacts the environment. Many people will have to relocate. Think of all those people living there. And if they have farms, because agriculture, as I said, is one of their main like exports and a big part of their economy. So there's just a huge amount of problems that they're going to have to deal with, and many people are upset about these. And so, I mean, they've also like sold this land to the Chinese company that's going to actually be constructing it. So there are actually many protests, and this is just a photo from one of them. But I mean, most people don't seem to want it because it could actually widen the gap of economic inequality. When you take that land and degrade the environment, you impact a lot of people's lives. And that was seen once the Panama Canal was built in the early 1900s. So those are just a couple things. Has anyone heard of this like Nicaraguan Canal? Had anyone heard of that before? No, yeah. So they're still in the process of like, they've started it, but they're not sure if they're going to build it. It's a very expensive project, and there are a lot of protests. So those are just a few things that's trending in Nicaragua. So I'm going to hand it off to Sneha now.